Good evening, people. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever the case may be, wherever you're tuning in from, wherever continent, wherever part of the world. People that are still observing Ramadan, hope you had a great fast. I just opened mine. I keep telling you, like, the best way to open a fast is with some dates and milk. Forget all that fried stuff. Because if you eat all that fried stuff, you end up looking like me. So stop that. Stop the samosas, stop the pakoras, stop all of that roast fried chicken. No, not even roast chicken, fried chicken. Yeah, 3 dates and a glass of milk and you're calm. You're very welcome to another episode of Premier League Khanage. Jam-packed Premier League Khanage. Every week there's a new story, drama, action, title race, hype, relegation hype, sackings hype. In fact, we could possibly talk in, while we're on the show, guys, I think there could be possible news coming out of another sacking in the Premier League. We're going to come upon that very, very soon. Of course, guess away who it could be. I'm sure ain't that hard. With me to talk all Premier League is Michael Grizz, who's just been watching Man United, who hates watching Man United recently. Why? You're sitting pretty and fourth. What's going on? There's been people telling me, you don't even watch your team anymore.
I was third a couple weeks ago. Now I'm fourth. We haven't won a game in the Prem since February. Obviously, a lot of cup games in between, but it's feels nice to be back with the 3 points. Good performance. First good performance in a long time. We'll get into that, but yeah. And also a lot of sackings, like you said. I think half the league has sacked their manager this year. Just like chaos all around.
It's chaos. Look, it is what it is, man. As Kevin says, this is what I've been saying from week 3 or 4. I've been saying wild season, and it's been proven. So I knew it's going to be a wild season, but this wild Mo, this season is crazy. Sackings, really, 10 teams in a relegation fight. Arsenal in a title race. Top 4 battle with Newcastle in there, Brighton in there. Have we ever seen anything like this?
Never seen 8 teams in the relegation battle. I've never seen it. That late in the season, like you would think a couple of teams would pull out, but no, they didn't. It's very strange season. Even Man United getting dragged back into top 4 race. Spurs with all the mishmash. Like, oh, you put this, I win this, I draw this, I win that, I lose this, and I'm like, okay, so what is this? Very strange season, but I'm enjoying it as a neutral. I'm loving it.
That's why I always have Mo on the show. I can have a Man United rep and a Chelsea rep as we got today. Welcome. Goody, what's going on, my bro? Hope you're well. I know how you're doing. I'll let the people know how you're doing, man, because you've had a little health situation. I don't even want to know if you want to talk about it. Actually, I don't know why I just baited you like that, man.
It's cool. It's cool. The people's know that I've not been well. I haven't uploaded anything for over a week. Mm-hmm. I may or I may not explain the situation on my channel, but the one thing that I will say is, like, even down to yourself, Grizz, man, thanks to everybody for checking in on me. I am doing way, way better. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking to do a lot more content, but it's just, bruv, it's Chelsea Football Club, isn't it? They're like, there's
if you're not gonna do look, your health stuff, right, couldn't have come at a worse time or a better time. I don't know how to work this out, because your club, and you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very honest. There's 2 things that I'm envious of you about, right? The way, because take off your cap, the way your head is maintained, I need to know what you do, because mine's so dry. You keep yours so shiny. We need to talk afterwards, right? No. We need to talk afterwards, right? How is yours so nicely maintained, right? So you got to give me tips on that. So that's envy number 1. I know envy is not good in a human being, but I'm going to be real in it. And the second part is, you're the only club that's making our situation look, okay, bad. Because you're going through some, I don't know, you describe what your club's going through this season.
All right. So in terms of question number 1, African black soap and cocoa butter.
Message me.
Shea butter, sorry.
Okay, so you need, so the shampoo is that shampoo that you're going to message me afterwards.
Yep.
And then afterwards, to moisturize it, is cocoa butter.
It's just no shea butter. It's shea butter. It's just a little bit of shea butter. You don't need too much.
I don't know what shea butter is, my brother.
Shea butter. You'll find it in the pit
I'm gonna
that and
teach you.
like
Don't
you're
worry, I'm
from
gonna
the area.
teach you, man. You're
You
gonna
gotta
be.
teach me, man. You need to teach me this shit, man, because I got the shape and everything, yeah.
Got it,
But
yeah.
my shine needs to rise, man. My shine ain't.
You look smooth as eggs right now. We just need to Mr. Sheen it up a little bit, brother. I hear you.
Yeah. We're gonna deal with
Yeah,
that. We're gonna deal with that. Message me,
buffer it
bro.
a little
Message me.
bit.
Yeah. Message me. You laugh, Mo, because you got look how nice and thick Mo's hair is still, man. It's ridiculous, man. You laugh. But look, we start off with your club, man. We got to start off with our game first. We take it back a day. We'll get on to today's proceedings, people. We'll talk about Newcastle United. We'll talk about the Lampard situation and all of that business. But we must just touch upon, because I didn't get a chance to do any content on my channel, even for my show, because I was at the game and I just sat there in the stands afterwards, right? I was one of the last men out, right? And you know what I said? I said, you know, our games in the past, right, have been blockbusters, not in recent past, but back in the day. They were a ferocious rivalry. The level of football, the intensity. It was like Man City, Liverpool now, or Man United, Arsenal back in the day. Chelsea, Liverpool was fierce, and the quality on show on both sides. My brother, I regret going yesterday. I usually never regret going to see a game of football, because it's one of the perks in life. You know, you live for this shit, man. People all around the country, all around the world would love to be in my situation, be able to go to a game. But yesterday was one of the few occasions where I regret watching a game of football live. It was ugly.
It was El Shabico, cuz that's
El
what it was.
Shabico.
That's what it was. It was El Shabico, bro. And if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be the happiest set of fans. I know you lot played horrible, yeah, but to come away with the point, I'd shut up and take it, bruv. Honestly,
I sat there afterwards, like, and I was like, whoa, that was amateurish. That was like two Sunday league teams and one Sunday league team, like I don't know. You can tell me about your goal scoring situation, man. But we couldn't string two passes together. At least you lot strung about two passes together about 4 times in the whole game, because you lot were rubbish as well. Rubbish. Anyone who tells me, oh no, you lot were rubbish, but we were nasty. That's the difference.
No, guys, Chelsea, Gunya, let me ask you something. So people say Chelsea should have won. Your XG is 2.17. Liverpool is 0.3. So you definitely created way more chances. They had more shots on target. But going to the game, we knew that Chelsea would create chances. We know that. Against Dortmund, the first game, you clearly dominated the game and you lost the game. So Liverpool, you saying that Liverpool got out with a point, okay, that doesn't suit the narrative, because we know that you will create chances, but you're lacking the cutting edge at the end. You're lacking the people that will put the ball at the back of the net. So I agree, even though I agree with you that you created more chances, but that's expected. You're playing at home and you had the best midfielders you can have on the team as well. Joao Felix playing with Havertz and everything. No manager bounce. But again, same problem. So Liverpool fans will think, yeah, same old Chelsea, couldn't score. Got out with a point. We
Do you know what? No. You know what, Mo? I don't even care about Chelsea, honestly. I was thankful that it was Chelsea we were playing, because anyone else, that's a 3-0, 4-0 loss. And the fact that it's Chelsea, you're right, we know they can create. They create chances. They just can't score. And Guinea says, I'm so happy to walk away with a point. That's one of the most luckiest points you're likely to see. But your team, obviously, you got an interim manager that took place that charge of the team.
Yeah.
Like that lineup, everything, it was calm. It was like the first time Kante, Enzo, and Kovacic playing in midfield. You'd like to think that's your strongest midfield on paper, I think.
Kante, Enzo, and Kovacic. Yes, it is. It's not the most balanced, but yes, it is. It's the strongest, I'd say.
What would you do different?
There's nothing we can really do different because of who we've got available as midfielders. And this is one of the issues that I've had. I mean, this might be a discussion for another day, but I've always been of the one saying that I don't think Kante is entirely a number 6, your traditional number 6.
No.
I think, you know, there needs to be that 6 to create that balance in that midfield. You know what I mean? You need, so you're 6 and 2 8s in front. We don't have that natural sitter. In fact, that's a lie. That's a big lie. I forgot about Dennis Zakaria, but then that should tell you something. He doesn't even get used.
Even he, you know, he's not natural there. He's not a natural. He likes to play.
He's the closest. He's the closest to it.
Because you got the physical attributes. Because he's got the physical attributes.
He's the closest to it. I mean, in his career, particularly in Mönchengladbach, I know he was used as a DM for some point. Juve, I think he was more used as a box to box 100. Yeah, so there is familiarity in his gameplay in there, but that's the closest we have. So the point is emphasized. We don't have that proper natural number 6 there for the balance. But even still, man, you see that game, and this is where I'm gonna say to Mo, during that game, I said, especially in the first half, where people were mesmerized by some of the football that we were seeing, I didn't fall for that. I said, this story, we have seen it 1,000 times. If Liverpool weather this for the first 20 to 25 minutes and the gas in the tank drops a little bit, we're not scoring nothing. We're not scoring anything. Why I say this? I've seen this several times where we've been absolutely battering teams in terms of possession, beautiful football. You get to the final third. It's like they cross this imaginary line and it just goes left. It just goes completely left. Doesn't matter who's in front of the ball, one-on-one, whatever. Ball's not going in the back of the net. A man's handballing it. Someone's touch isn't there. Someone's composure isn't there. I've seen it too many times. So I braced myself for this to happen. I mean, yes, there are positives, but at the highest level, it's no good saying every single week, XG was this. We created this. I don't care. Who scored? Where are we getting the 3 points from? We need something clinical up top. Kai Havertz is not it. Kai Havertz is not it. I've been saying about this guy for a while. Kai Havertz is not that guy for me, bro.
He's misused, Goni. He's misused. He was brilliant at the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich wanted him. The problem is you're using him wrong. He is not a number 9. He is not your highest player.
Can I say something though? Can I say something though? I agree with you, Mo. But how many coaches now going to have used him as the number 9? Because it's not just one guy that thought, yeah, you know what? Let me convert this attacking midfielder stroke 10 into a frontline number 9 who's going to hold up play, link up play, make runs behind, and finish. Because I believe there's about 2 or 3 coaches that have played him there now, right?
3: Lampard, Tuchel, and Potter.
So what then?
Listen, there's certain intangibles for me as a football player that you must have. I don't care what position you're playing. I need to see consistency and a touch. These are basic things I'm asking for. Kai Havertz, basic unforced errors. This guy, you see him make them all the time. Yeah, I need to see. I need to see. You know, his movement is good.
Yeah.
But this is where I sympathize with him because he's not a natural striker. It's not always where it should be. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes he drops deep, he influences play, and he does that very well. But at the same time, sometimes doing that a lot in the game, it does negate the space where he's supposed to be as well. Because another thing that I will say, a lot of times where there's supposed to be a cutback and there's somebody in that space, i.e. a Kai Havertz, he's not there. Sometimes you see us on a counter-attack. We're counter-attacking. It's 2 versus 2 on a counter-attack. It's not even a 3. We never outnumber the opposition. It's not even just Kai Havertz. It's just, bro, the whole thing for me has been a complete mess in terms of just the attacking situation in general. And I think it's a manifestation of what's going on in the position behind it. That's my honest truth. I think while you don't have that balance and consistency in that midfield, your chance creation, it's going to be sporadic. It's not going to be consistent. Do you know what I mean? There's that factor as well. But for me, with Kai, simple opportunities, you one-on-one. If you're an attacking player, let alone a striker, a lot of these opportunities, you've got to finish, bro. A lot of them.
Joao does the same, Guni. Joao misses the same.
Yeah,
listen, he's got no exemption either. With Joao, okay. I love everything that he does in it, but
he's renowned to miss a lot of chances. He's renowned to be the nearly guy. Like, he knows how to jink past a player. He knows how to create, but he hasn't got that cold-blooded killer instinct, which you guys were crying out for in the last 2 windows, yet you didn't address it. Well, I guess you tried to address it. You got Aubameyang 3 windows ago now, or 2 windows ago?
No. Oba game in the summer.
I can't even. Yeah, it was late in the summer, the 12 minutes. Yeah.
So 2 windows ago. So 2 windows ago, and then you got Fofana, that striker, the young striker,
who's what, 18, 19, and he played respectfully. He played in either, I think it's the Danish or the Norwegian league.
Wow.
You can't rely on an 18, 19. This is
Chelsea Football
Club. This is Chelsea Football Club.
You can't do it.
But even the guy they've got coming in is not an out-and-out striker in Nkunku.
Nkunku, right.
So you've spent how much on Nkunku?
60 million euros. What I will say with Nkunku, though, you see what gives me a bit more faith in him in comparison to others is the fact that when you look at this man's skill set, he's brilliant in a lot of things he does. He's got a lot of pace. He can isolate you one-on-one, and he can beat you. Can go either side, outside you, inside, and he's a threat in front of goal. He can finish. That's one thing I will say. But my concern is this: is whatever manager comes in, are you going to misprofile him like you have misprofiled other players? And are we going to? And is that player going to suffer because of it? That's my concern here. And it's quite like you said, Nkunku is a similar profile in terms of playing position of what we want in terms of Kai Havertz or even a João Felix. Now, my question is this. If we've got this guy coming in, why are we going to commit 86 million euros to João Felix? I don't understand it. As much as I like the player, this has been my concern for Chelsea Football Club, is we've not been able to prioritize properly. We do things ass backwards recently. It doesn't make sense. The engine room that we need fixed, that we've needed fixed for several seasons, we've just ignored it.
That's quite funny. You know what Guinea just said there? We're working backwards. We're going to come on to the talking point, of course, the main headline. Yes. But people have been saying, Grizz, you didn't give your opinion on the Chelsea-Liverpool game yesterday. Of course, big up Omar. And who was with Omar? Omar Noor and Captain Zuberi was in the building yesterday who done the post-match reaction. I know it's not easy after a performance like that. So big them up for covering me. I don't know what to say. Like, look how Gooni's talking and I'm talking worse. I'm telling you, we were worse than that. Everything that he said, we were worse. We couldn't string 2-3 passes together. I'm done with a couple of players, man. And people know that I'm not a reactionary guy. If you know my channel, if you've been watching me, if you know my Twitter, or my Instagram, you know that I'm not one of these. You see a player have a bad game, get him out of my club and start spitting in the screen. I don't do that shit. I tried to be patient. I tried to be rational and logical, and I tried to think best because you know why? It's the team I love and support. I go up and down the country, pay my hard-earned money, man, my hard-earned money. Bro, when I part with that money, I feel like crying. You think I'm going to just cuss these mans and go there and give my money and cuss these mans and hate them? I want to love them. I want to like them. I want to support them. I'm ready to support them. They ain't giving me much love back. They ain't giving me nothing to support about. I was fuming yesterday. And not at the effort. The effort was there. The desire was there. But they've forgotten how to play football, my guys. My guys have forgotten. Okay, Jurgen Klopp made 7 changes. No problem. I understand. I didn't want fluency moves because when you make 7 changes, you guys all know when your teams make 7, when Inter makes 7 changes, are you going to be fluent? When United makes 7 changes, are you going to be fluent? Chelsea already know whatever combination they put out, they're not fluent. When you make 7 changes, you're not going to be fluent. But Liverpool couldn't pass the ball. Fabinho, Henderson, Matip. If them 3 don't play for my club ever again, I won't bat an eyelid. Did you hear me? Fabinho, Henderson, Joe Matip. If them 3 don't play for my Liverpool ever again, I won't bat an eyelid. You lot can get wild and say, what? Did you just say Fabinho? Did you just say your captain? Did you? Okay, Matip, a lot of people will understand. No problem. He's on the downward spiral. But but let me repeat. All 3 have been are legends of my football club. You know why? One captained and won every trophy under his captaincy. One was for 2 years the best DM in Europe. or one of the best teams in Europe. And you know what? The other one was one of the best centre-back free transfers the Premier League's ever seen. Joe Matip at his pomp for free. Are you mad? He was class. But you know what, guys? Enough is enough now. What I saw from them 3 senior players yesterday was embarrassing and abysmal. We were shoddy. And Jurgen Klopp doesn't get no pass as well for that performance and this season as well. So when people say, oh, you're always making excuses for Jurgen Klopp, I don't. I just love the guy. So if I love someone, you guys, I'm sure you got loves in your life. When you love even if it's your wife, girlfriend, mom, dad, sister, brother, you're always looking to make excuses for them, right? Because you love them. That's me 100%. With Jurgen Klopp. That's me with my players. I love my players. I love my coach. I want to make excuses. There's no more excuses. Michael, I don't know if you saw the Liverpool-Chelsea game. I'm sure you were smirking and laughing while you were watching it. Give us your opinion on that game, bro.
Honestly, I knew it was going to be a boring game in a sense because obviously I saw the lineups. For Chelsea, honestly, I kind of like the lineup. The switch to the 3-5-2 kind of made sense a little bit. It was like the one big change. I was good to see Kante back. That guy always loves a game against Liverpool. Grizz, you probably know that better than anyone. It was just Chelsea being Chelsea. It showed that Potter wasn't the main issue in terms of them not being able to score goals. This team just can't score goals. Joao Felix, this guy, up until the final third, will be a beautiful player. And then come in the final third, he'll either shoot it and it'll get blocked, or he can't create a chance. Did you know that Kante has created more chances than Joao Felix in a Chelsea jersey in just 2 games?
What?
Yeah, Joao Felix has created like 1 big chance since he came to Chelsea. Kante created like 2 yesterday. That guy don't create. He's one of the most inefficient players that I've actually seen, and it kind of opened my eyes more to him.
Michael, can I just agree with you on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is what I've been saying. People have been saying to me, why wouldn't you want to keep Joao Felix? Yeah, he's beautiful on the eye. Yes, he does beat players and opens up space. It's that final third decision, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's them final first decisions. Sometimes they baffle you, man. And look, I would have him in my squad, but it's priority. It's priority. I've got to prioritize other positions. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Michael. I just felt what you were saying, bro. Proper. So big up.
Yeah, and no, it's just with Chelsea, and then for Liverpool, honestly, you just said it. That team just don't know how to play football right now. You can't string 3 passes together. The lineups, whoever comes in, ain't really gonna do really well. I think you've kind of hit the point where you don't really. I don't know if you guys care about top 4. I'm sure you do it in a little bit. You obviously want to be in Champions League, but at this point, I think your players just want the season to be over, go on vacation, recuperate their heads. Obviously, investment will probably come in the summer, hopefully, for Liverpool's fans' sakes, and then just go again next year. Whether you're in Europa, whether you're in Champions League, who knows what competitions you'll be in. Whether you're in Europe, you never know what can happen towards the end of the season. But you guys just want a new season. It's kind of how I was last year towards the end of like the Ralph Rangnick era. I just wanted the season to end.
Yeah,
I want summer. Let me get the summer window. My new coach, I'm sure Klopp will probably go back into the boardroom, kind of make some new tactics. For his sake, he should probably make some new tactics because the club, they need some kind of change. And yeah, also Tsimikas, I don't like this guy. He got me cooked on Twitter yesterday.
Well, you can say you don't like Tsimikas, but there is strong rumors. Someone said Michael was
I got cooked on Twitter. They posted, they put me on the Jumbotron yesterday. They put my picture as Tsimikas.
People are saying that you're a clone for Tsimikas, bro. I hope you're stronger than him because that guy is lightweight. I hope you got something about you, bro. You know what I mean? Because that guy is lightweight.
He don't sleep. He looks like he hasn't slept in 3 years.
Yeah, well, that definitely goes like you. So it looks like you don't sleep either.
Yeah. Can I add something to this, like very quickly? I'm looking at the 2 lineups, and to be honest, the Liverpool lineup, it's full of good names and stuff, some okay names. The problem is if you look at this lineup, the Firminos, the Jotas, the Nunes, there's only a couple of players that will actually, I would call a top players. Of course, Alisson and Konate. Everybody else, they're either past their prime or past their prime in 1 year, like Henderson and Fabinho. Suddenly, they're just done, or they are not up to the levels that we expected them to. Nunes.
You're going to give Nunes. Nunes was the only outlet. Nunes was the only one who was threatening Chelsea. Fofana, people are saying Fofana played him nice. I thought it was a very good battle. I thought he had the better of him sometimes. Fofana had the better of him sometimes. Nunes is the only one, Mo, and he's not a left winger. I'm perplexed. I'm bemused. I'm confused.
So if you look at the two lineups, Grizz, who would you pick? Which one would you pick? Two lineups. No, two lineups. I would pick the Chelsea lineup.
I would pick the Chelsea lineup yesterday.
I wouldn't pick the Liverpool lineup.
Yep.
It's sad. It's sad. From a quad team last year, Tsimikas. People wanted Tsimikas last year to start over Robertson at some games. You remember that, Grizz?
No
Jota
chance.
was great. Firmino was great. Fabinho, in the conversation of the best DM to play in the last 3-4 years. So what happened? Only Konate is up to the levels. Only Alisson is up to the level.
Only
Alisson.
I told you guys.
Alisson as well.
We got a couple of super chats I shall very quickly go through. Amir says, bring up yourself. There's 10 games left. Looking forward to the summer. That is Liverpool, you know. Probably Chelsea as well.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah. The countdown has started. Bro,
it's sad.
You can't make me laugh too hard, bro.
No, oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Oh shit. Yeah, we don't want nothing popping off, man. And shit. All right. Okay, calma. But that's us, you know. That's us. Shane McGee says top 4 is gone. Last 10 games needs to be a tryout for next season. Okay. Barring Alisson, that's exactly what Moses has been saying. Barring Alisson, everyone needs to be put on a chopping block and assessed. And Jurgen Klopp has come out and said that, peoples. Jurgen Klopp said only 2 or 3 people are what's the word?
Guaranteed.
What's the word he used? Guaranteed, or I don't think he said guaranteed because he would never guarantee, but he said are justifying a starting place. And I think those 2-3 are Konate, Alisson.
It's got to be Mo Salah, probably.
No, I don't think it was Mo Salah. I'd say, I don't know, Nunes. Actually.
I'd say Nunes for
me.
I can't think of anyone else, to be honest.
The problem is this Liverpool is strange. How do you have a 22-man squad and you only have 2 players that are guaranteed starting positions? How is that even possible? Like even Chelsea, they're looking at them.
Probably Stephen talking about.
James,
I think he's probably talking about Stephen. Yeah.
Like I'm counting the names on Chelsea. There are a lot of players on Chelsea. A lot of top teams would love to have an injury.
Check this out. How many midfielders we got? I'm telling you guys now, and this is not reactionary. I've been calling out Fabinho. People. If you're fortunate or unfortunate, as the case may be, and you've been following me for a little while, you will know I started calling out Fabinho in the midst of the quad hype. So people can't say, oh, Grizz is reactionary. He's gone down and he's forgotten about Fabinho's, all his good games and everything he done for us. No, I've just told you. All 3 are legends. Fabinho, Matip, and Henderson are legends for me. In my humble opinion, they're legends of Liverpool Football Club. But if they don't play another game, I'm okay, you know.
Grizz.
And I'm gonna thank them for being legends. But you're washed now. All 3 of you are not of the quality that we need. You know why? We're effing with Arsenal and Man City. Have you seen Arsenal play this season? Arsenal look like the young Liverpool. You know the first Liverpool that started under Klopp. You know Arsenal look like them. You know that,
like them, yeah.
100%. You know they start like 100 miles per hour. They press you. They don't let you out. With the Martinelli and Saka, Mane and Salah reincarnated. Gabriel Jesus is Bobby reincarnated. Partey is going on like Fabinho. Xhaka and Odegaard are going on like Gini and Henderson in their prime.
But let me ask you something, Greg. Before Guni goes, let me ask, why are we blaming all of this on all these players? What happens in the back room? How come all these players dropped? How come all these players drop? When 1 or 2 drop, we point to them. But when a whole squad drop like this, we have to point to fitness, nutrition, coaches, everything.
That was actually going to be part of my question. But I was also going to say is like, you know, all things considered, you know, once you're washed, you're washed. All of the excuses don't matter. You've got to be moved on. However, in the case of particularly like a Fabinho, do you feel that Liverpool let him down? Because I see some similarities in between him and Kante, where Kante, because, you know, Kante's Kante, but at the end of the day, he's a human being and he needed some backup legs in behind him. Do you feel that Liverpool, in that sense, had failed Fabinho by over-relying on him too much, and that sort of in turn broke him down?
Great question.
Made him more injury.
Great question. But this is another debate. And you know what? I know you're not Liverpool fans, right? Mo, Michael, and Goonie. And there may be non-Liverpool fans in the chat as well. But we're going to do a deep dive on that on RedFellas on Sunday, which is a Liverpool-specific show, guys, just in case you guys don't know. And you know what, Goonie? You make a mad point. Because it's not only Fabinho, though, Goonie, that's been let down.
Yeah.
Henderson, Gini when he was here.
Yeah.
All three of them have done the most mileage. You know why? Because Jurgen Klopp's system is based on his midfield being bionic men. And how many years can bionic men be bionic men before wear and tear sets in?
Yeah.
What we tried to replace Gini was with ballers, Thiago, Elliott, Keita. They couldn't, their bodies couldn't take what Henderson, Fabinho, and Gini could deal with. You know, them three, you lot all faced them, right? You hated facing Fabinho, Gini, Hendo, Prime. You guys knew long evening, long afternoon. Whenever you're playing Liverpool, these guys are going to be on our necks. Fabinho, Gini, Henderson for 2 years were ridiculous. But you're right, Goonie. The recruitment, the coaches, the manager let them down. We didn't reinforce when we should have. Gini was washed. Gini's my boy, man. I love Gini Wijnaldum. But I called it at the time. I said, I'm happy with him to go, and he's gone. Has Gini done anything since he's gone? Sadio Mane is my king. Sadio Mane is my favorite Liverpool player under Jurgen Klopp. In case you guys don't know, Salah, everyone, Coutinho, whoever. Under Klopp, Sadio Mane is my favorite player. But I wasn't afraid to call him out. I said, he's finished. Has Sadio Mane done anything since he's left? All of these guys that have gone, they were washed. And I'm saying it. I'm saying the same for Fabinho now. Fabinho leaves Liverpool, he will never be the same. He's washed. Matip will never rise again. Henderson, we already know. They outstayed and they've not been reinforced. And you're right, Goonie, that's a great point. Because they haven't been backed up. They shouldn't be playing 60 games a season at this intensity. Yeah. Who does that? Everyone rotates. Look at Kante now.
Chelsea do.
And there you go. And that's why your midfielder, your King Kante, is washed. Not washed. I don't know if he's washed. You judge that. But he's not the same.
He's not. But yeah, exactly. I mean, we haven't seen any consistency long enough to even know where he's at. Honestly, we're at a point in his development where, you know, there's certain attributes that you're not going to lose, obviously, through experience and at his age, but we haven't had a proper sample size. And that means, like, you know, between even 5 and 10 game run from N'Golo Kante without him getting injured. So I don't even know where he's at in terms of that. When you've got a player that's coming in 2-3 games, hamstring injuries out for 6 weeks, bro, it's hard to keep track. It's hard to know these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
32 years old. He's done. 32 years old. His first season with Leicester, like the 15-16 one. Now, we're 7 years now from that.
Yeah.
It's done. It's over. Won the World Cup in 2018. That's 4 years ago. Or 5. It's done.
And the mileage
He's
as well.
Guys, no, we're not talking. There's 400 people in here and we've got 66 likes. Are you lot all taking a piss? Like, I ain't talking. Now, I'm boycotting my own channel. I don't give shit. I'll sit here in silence. You know me, I'm raw. I don't care.
What is this? We need some
thumbs
up, man.
Like, what do you mean? Like 400
people, you don't know where the likes are.
It's like, you know, just sitting there.
Chat.
What is it? Have we got
live chat?
Hey, Mo, have we got 600 Kai Havertz where they just can't hit the like button?
They can't find the like button.
Yeah, is this what you lot all are, man? Come on, man. Show some composure, some finishing, man. Just finesse, just hit that like button, people.
Hey, man, that's taking a piss. But listen, is Kante going to get a new deal? It's the least of your problems right now, probably. I think you got a whole heap of things that we're going to come on to.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, would you like to give him a new deal? Would you keep him?
Now, here's the thing. When I look at the situation with the senior midfielders at Chelsea, and I'm talking Kovacic, Kante, 1 or 2 others, but those 2 are the more influential ones. Kovacic don't want to stay at Chelsea. He wants to leave in the summer. He wants a new challenge. We've got this project where we're bringing in.
Kovacic wants to go.
He wants to go. He wants to go. We've known this since the summer that he wants a new challenge. So my thing is the reason why I would keep Kante is that if we lose him as well, we've got 0 experience in that midfield. You know, we need somebody, in my opinion, who's post 25, 26 or whatever, that has been there in deep parts of competitions, that knows what it is to win in that midfield as well. And then let's have it right. Knowledge like N'Golo Kante to have and to be able to pass on to other use coming up through the system is invaluable. Very similar with Kovacic. We're very similar with Kovacic as well, but we're in a situation where we can't force a man to stay if he don't want to stay. So in that regard, yes, I understand why he should be given a contract. But when we're talking, how many performances have we seen from him? How reliable can we use this guy? It doesn't really merit a renewal of the contract. And N'Golo is he's a really unique one, because anybody here will tell you at his top level, it's hard to find somebody like him. He's just absolutely elite when he's on it. But at the same time, availability is a thing, and you need to be available consistently. So,
but could he not be used? Because he's okay. Thiago hasn't been in the Premier League long, but we have the same arguments about keeping Thiago or getting rid of Thiago. Because Thiago, when he plays, he's ridiculous. But he plays about 6 games a season. That's the problem. Kante, could you not utilize both players? Because that's the question on Liverpool fans' lips as well. The discussion is about, should we keep Thiago, give him a new contract? Similar to what you're saying about Kante. Now, don't get me wrong. Kante is a Premier League Hall of Famer. For me, Kante is a Hall of Famer. Thiago is a footballing icon, but he hasn't done it in the Premier League. It's the question, isn't it? Do we keep, like you said, all that invaluable experience, know-how? Kante, will he want to stay and play 10, 15 games a season?
But this is the thing, is he's
able to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can only play what his body allows him. Now, look, if for example, right, we've got Kante, and let's say we can only use him for 20 games a season, sparingly because of his injury situation. It's not as bad if you've got somebody who is of a similar profile in front of him. Do you know what I mean? It's not as bad, because it's going back to the conversation that we were saying. It relieves the pressure off the player because you've got an extra set of legs to help him out. And Kante, I even believe for that handful of games in the season, depending on where you are towards, this time of the year, if we're able to use him for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games from this point onwards towards the end of the season, and we're in a European competition, he then becomes invaluable. You see what I mean?
100%.
Because now you've kept him fresh for the majority of the season.
Yes.
Now the business end of the season, where you need him at his best. Champions League, we've seen this guy put in 3-4 Champions League performance, man of the matches in a row. You bring that into a semi-final or a quarter-final, that's a massive booster for your team. Do you know what I mean? So 100%. I can see the value in that.
But Guni, you have a player, his injury is muscular, which is related to age as well, right? Most of the time, it's related to age, and the muscles can't take the workload and the stuff that happens in training and games. And yes, I love Kante. I think he's one of the best midfielders I've seen in the last 10 years in the Premier League and even on the international level. But if you keep him based on 5, 6 games, 10 games, he's taken a spot on your roster. Okay, he's taken a lot of wage, and he's taken a place in a Champions League roster that is not as big as the Premier League one. Yeah. I think that's a risk you cannot take, because the season is 9 months. It's not only the last 10 games.
It's true.
I think it's people need to think about, listen, yes, great player, will add a lot. He might win me the final of the Champions League, but what about the rest of the season? Because I need somebody that might give me 20 games, not 10 or 5 games. And he's only getting older. If you're going to give him another 2-year, 3-year contract, and he's injuring now when he's 32, that means by the age of 34, he's still at the club, and he's injured now at 32. What is going to happen? I think it's the wrong move to give him.
We could talk about Chelsea and Liverpool issues forever and ever. We've spent 40 minutes. I didn't want to spend this long on these two dead clubs. But we before we move on, big up Dan Potts earlier on in the chat as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to his channel as well. We're gonna get Dan for some Arsenal chat very soon as well. He's just so busy as well, man. United Till I Die sends in a super chat. He's got a ugly picture of my guy, whose headpiece I'm not envious of. His one's very dry. Man needs to moisturize. You need to come to me for tips, because I've got the tips of Guni. You understand, Tobbs? But anyway, that's a different story if man's watching that there. Yeah, stay in Kenya. Don't come back. If Liverpool play like that on Sunday against Arsenal, I really believe it could be domination with all those chances. Thoughts and predictions versus Arsenal. Yeah, look, it's we play like that, Michael. We play like that against this version of Arsenal. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, anybody interested in buying my channel? Hold on. I'm serious. I'm selling up. Mo, Liverpool won't play like that on Sunday.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Surely.
I agree with Mo.
Because if we do, it could be a Man United Liverpool job.
No. That's a pride thing, Grizz. No. It's a pride thing, and also you have to understand that these players, they're not that old. Fabinho is 30 years old. He has another contract in him. Maybe not with Liverpool, but he has another contract with another club, right? Henderson is 32. He has another 3-4 years to give in the Premier League. Might not be with Liverpool. But the problem with this is that if it keeps going down like this, your wages going down, your negotiation power is going. These players want to have a future because they're not that old. These players are not old. Thiago's not that old. They are okay.
It's not about the age. It's about the miles in the legs, like Goonie was saying.
But that's what I mean.
No. Jiba sends in a super chat. Big up Jiba. He says, need that DM next to Kante. He says he hasn't had a proper one since Matic left. Rice or Lavia, please. Season is a write-off. Lampard will play youth and vibes. Rice or Lavia? I know you guys are in for both. I think Rice will probably end up at Arsenal. So who's your choice for the DM?
Lavia, and this other guy. I've got another one. This other guy, his name's Romeo Lavia.
That's young though. Goodie's young,
brother. Hear what I'm saying to you.
You're talking about replacing Kante and Kovacic.
Listen, I've said this and I've put my neck on the line.
Okay.
There's certain exceptions in this game that you make for certain players. I truly believe, Romeo Lavia is a very special talent. I think he's a very special talent. And I think him coming into the team, because the level of maturity that this guy plays with, his technical ability as well, his ability to sniff danger. And on top of that, his ability to dictate play and to transition attacks is excellent. Absolutely brilliant. I understand people are worried about his age. There's obviously a lot to go. There's a lot of development left to go. I believe he's special. But in an ideal world, I'd have Romeo Lavia and I'd have Palhinha. I'd sign two. I said 2 summers ago, 2 number 6s is needed, not 1, because we don't want to keep running into the problem where we're running these guys
like us.
Yeah, exactly. And with the Palhinha situation and the Lavia situation, you've got the balance of the two. You've got one at the sort of, he's coming up in his career, very young, so he's on the trajectory spectrum. Then you've got the other one who's mid-20s, crossed that mid-20s, has got that experience outside of Fulham, at Sporting, had played some games at a high level, and he's looked very good, very solid in the Premier League. So you've got, not only do you have youth and experience, you've also got both players sort of relieving pressure off each other. And when it's time for Romeo Lavia to step into that role and to be that more mature figure that can be counted on week in, week out, it's perfect for him to go in there. But then again, I get why people might be like, Romeo's a bit young. I think he's very much an exception to the rule. That's how much I rate the kid.
Before we move on, people obviously going to message me and have been messaging me about my tweet about Alexis McAllister. People already know that I know for a fact we want Mason Mount as well from Chelsea. In fact, we've met his dad, family. Same with Alexis McAllister. That's 2 names. Jude, you already know my opinion on Jude and what I think is with Jude. I'm going to ask your opinions as neutrals. In fact, Goonie won't be because he knows all about Mount and what you think. But Mo, today, interest of McAllister is going to spread like wildfire in the next few days. Liverpool want Alexis McAllister. Mount, I 100% believe we want as well. Totally different types of players, but do you see them suited to Liverpool?
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp can work with them, but I think if you want to revive, I think you want a higher caliber of player. That's gonna. I think you need a higher caliber of player. I think Mason Mount. I always liked Mason Mount at Chelsea. I like his movement between the lines. I said once that he's one of the best players I've seen to move between the lines. And at one season, he was brilliant even in finishing and stuff. But again, at Liverpool, listen, I hold Liverpool because of these last 4 years since 2017, that January signing, 2018, the January signing of Virgil van Dijk. I hold Liverpool at high level. And I think that the Mason Mount, the McAllister is good and everything, but I'm talking superstars. I'm talking the levels of Jude Bellingham. I'm talking the levels of Musiala. I'm talking the levels of Tchouameni. That's what I'm looking at when I see Liverpool. I know what you're talking about. I know, but you asked me my opinion, and I think
money.
If you get Mason Mounts, if you get the Mason Mounts, the McAllister, you are still, it's Jurgen Klopp building, putting the work. But if you get the Judes,
but that's going to be Jude. But that's going to be Jude. Jude is going to be a 100 million plus player. Yeah. So I've told you like months ago, innit? Jude's that's a wrap. Yeah. Jude's going to be. So we can't go out and get another. The ones that.
But there are other gyms. I think Mason Mount is tested in the Premier League. There are like Tchouameni was not that expensive. Camavinga wasn't.
For us, it was. We tried to get Tchouameni on the cheap, and then Madrid came in and said, "No, you know what? Here's 30 mils extra. Bang." What I'm trying to say is, you know what we see in Mason Mount? What Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. And I'm going to ask Goonie about his opinion on Mason Mount. It could be controversial. It could not be. I know Michael salivates over Alexis McAllister. I'm going to come to you in a second. But you know what they see in Mason Mount, Mo? You know, Adam Lallana, he ended his career. He was a waste. Overall, his career was a waste at Liverpool. Yeah, for the talent he had. He was a waste. Before people saying, oh, he's bigging up Adam Lallana. I'm not bigging up his overall career. It was a waste at Liverpool. But Adam Lallana was so talented. He just couldn't keep fit. He couldn't stay fit. Jurgen Klopp loved his style, his touch, his movement, like you said. He sees a lot of that in Mason Mount, you know. He sees a lot of that in Mason Mount. But before we get back to Mason Mount, and because Goonie, obviously being a Chelsea guy, knows about Mason Mount, Alexis McAllister, Michael, Liverpool, suits it? Do you hate if that happens? Or no, take him. I'd rather you take him than, for example, a Moises Caicedo, who's my number one choice. Number one in the Bombay charts for me. Moises Caicedo.
Yeah, I got that. I mean, I want Alexis McAllister. We also got linked with him today, too, from Argentinian links, the CL Merlo. They said us, Liverpool, and someone else. I forgot the other club. Probably Man City, because I think he's the perfect Gundogan replacement for them. Honestly, I think he's that's a perfect replacement. I don't know if they'll do it though. I think he'd fit Liverpool. I think he'll fit probably any top 6 club in the Premier League. He's kind of he's so versatile that he could play kind of next to a pivot 6,
actually,
or he could play the 8.
I think so. I think
I'll take him next.
Every team, yeah.
Next to Casemiro, that'd be perfect. I think because he could carry the ball really well. He could also pass it really well. I want a lot of players from Brighton's system because they just look so good playing the football. So I'll take him. I'm sure Lisandro Martinez will probably put in a good word for us. All depends on the price though. If Brian kind of overpriced him, I'll stay away. I think he's probably maximum 50 mil. That's probably the highest I'd bid for him. If it goes higher than that, I'd go another route personally. But if it's like a 40 mil signing, I'd go for it. But
can I ask you guys something before you go on? Can I ask something? If you guys are talking about 40, 50, but you're telling me he's a superstar, how does that work?
I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's. I don't really want superstar.
I'm saying he's a superstar. He's a number one bowler. He's a world star.
You know why, guys? It's obvious, isn't it? He won the World Cup.
Yeah, he won the World Cup with Argentina. That raised his profile up.
Yeah. So you remember Petit, these guys, even Givash, Joker, all these guys, when they won the World Cup, they become world class.
Even Enzo. Even Enzo, his price went up like 20, 30 mil because he won the World Cup.
McAllister is on the cusp of being world class.
Yeah.
I think McAllister is in that Gini Ronaldo bracket where we thought, good, not world class, good player, technical, bang, world class.
He's basically a 7 out of 10 player at every single attribute in the midfield. He's a master. He's a master of jack of all trades.
But I agree with Shane here. Alexis will be close to say, you know how Brian operates, brother.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And then you're also another English club as well.
I'd pick if it's that kind of money. I'll just ask for Caicedo instead. If it's gonna be that kind of money.
Dan sent in a super chat. He says, "I'd like Mount at United as an option. Quality footballer, reminds me of Rashford last season. Not playing well, but a good coach gets him performing." Goonie, talk to us about Mason Mount. Your opinion on the guy, and I know you hear bits. What you hearing about Mason Mount? Will he stay? And if he does stay, okay. If he doesn't, where do you think he goes?
Okay, so a bit of a loaded question. So I'll start with the ones that are easier to go with. So in terms of whether he stays or goes, the situation has drastically changed because of obviously what could potentially be unfolding over the next 24 to 48 hours with Frank Lampard coming in. We already know they have an existing relationship in the fact that Mason Mount was, you know, he had his debut and he was brought through under Super Frankie. Do you know what I mean? So we have to see whether Frankie's going to convince him, one, to sign a new contract and stay at the club. That's what we have to see. But what I will say is, since he's come in, that might have increased the chances significantly of that happening. Now, you ask me, what do I think of the player? Personally, I think he's good, but I think he's been blown a hell of a lot of out of proportion, not just by my fans, by other fans as well. Mace is a very, and it's not his fault. In the Chelsea fan,
Goonie,
very
just
much
5 second breaking news, 5 seconds, and it's related to you.
Is it official?
No. Miguel Delaney, reliable journalist. Miguel Delaney, you already know, chief football writer for The Independent. Chelsea are considering a discussion with Antonio Kante in what would be another sensational development in their managerial search. Bomba!
I said that a couple of days ago, and I said, and Ty opened his eyes and said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Listen, if I'm Chelsea, I would go back to that model of let's win now and go back to winning."
Todd Bowley is I love Todd Bowley, man. I love Todd Bowley. This guy's the greatest thing to ever happen to the Premier League. He's a box office CEO. Look at this guy. This guy is Hollywood. He's Hollywood.
Goonie hasn't been well. Just when he's on the road to recovery, they drag him back up. The pain must be more. The pain must be more than the operation, bro.
Just when I thought I was out,
they pulled me back. Lord, how? Why your club?
Grizz,
I don't see it.
Are you basing? I'm sorry, Goonie. Let me ask. Are you basing this based on his Tottenham period?
For me, it's not. It's not that, because listen, let's be honest. Antonio Conte is a winner. But in terms of the structure of what Chelsea are trying to build and the philosophy that they've gone with and the profile of players that they're going for, it doesn't make sense to go for Antonio Conte, because now we're talking profile clashes in terms of what we've already signed and what we're bringing in. And now on top of that, with Antonio Conte, you're bringing him into a team where transfer decisions and recruitment decisions are going to be made by a recruitment team. We've seen Conte live-o at Chelsea clash with these kind of figures over what he wants. And if Christopher Vival and Paul Winstanley's decisions are final, I don't see how it's going to work between Conte and that board. I will see a similarity between, not in playing style, but in terms of mentality of Tuchel and Conte as to trying to adapt to that model. I personally cannot see it happen. I personally think
it won't happen. It won't happen.
Yeah, I personally
think they have to explore. I think basically because there's so many great managers out there, they have to be seen to be exploring every avenue.
We need to have a show about Chelsea. We need to have a show about the manager thing, because to be honest, the squad is built for 3-5-2. It is built for 3-4-2, 3-5-2. One of the things you need to consider a short-term Conte is the squad is built. The Koulibalis, the Bareshilis, the Fofanas, the Thiago Silvas, the Reis, Chilwell, Kukurea. It is built for that style. I love Antonio Conte.
And Lukaku coming back too. And Lukaku coming back.
Is one of the best winners I've seen in the last 10 years. The guy turns a club right away into a winner. If
anyone can turn Lukaku back into Lukaku,
thank you.
Antonio.
One thing, the one can work with Kai Havertz, the one that can work with Sterling on the sides, the one can turn 3-4-3.
Havertz of Lukaku of Havertz,
or even 3 up top with Sterling on the sides.
Chelsea fans, people think, oh, here we go, Grizz is doing his big up, and then manifesting that to happen, and then Lukaku and Havertz gonna make Goonie go mad, and all the Chelsea fans gonna go wild.
I think the only thing is, though, since they're appointing Lampard for the end till the end of the season, they're gonna exhaust every single avenue for managers. So you're gonna see so many links.
So we're gonna segue into that right now. First, Philippe sends in a super chat. Says, "Big up Grizz, Michael, Goonie, and Mo. I said we'd get top 4, brother. Before the start of the season, I said you're gonna get top 6. So you know what I mean. big up. And
So,
yeah, I said it. I said Newcastle top 6, and they're gonna challenge for the big four. I didn't even know they're gonna get into the 4th before the international break. 5-1, crazy. If we get UCL, long day for the big 6. Yeah, bruv. Newcastle armed with money and a decent and a clever manager like they've got, who hasn't gone wild. Yeah, bruv. Long day for Spurs.
I watched the game. I watched the game today. Listen,
what's this about, man? Let's get serious, Grizz. Stop the jokes. Like, what the fuck, man?
What jokes?
What do you mean, man?
I think they're joking. I think they're joking about Kante.
Oh, no. Okay,
go to Twitter, people. Miguel Delaney, go to
I'm
Twitter.
telling you, man. I'm telling you. Goody. Today, breaking news. Oh, first and foremost, finish up the Mason Mount. I'm so sorry we had breaking news. So Mason Mount, you think he's a good player. You think Lampard might influence his stay, but why? Lampard's only there for a couple of months. Mount's looking to sign for what, 6-7 years? They want to tie him down, which I heard is one of the issues. He doesn't want to be tied down to 6-7 years. How do you see this being resolved?
I don't think there's going to be any grey area here. I think it's either he's going to sign soon or he's going to be out of the door. In terms of what us Chelsea fans here sort of on the socials, it's a lot of it was to do with the length of the contract, and it was also with to do with the flexibility of it in terms of, you know, the bonuses that were in there. They're structured because the basic wage was never going to stay the same for the entire 6 or 7 years. There were incentives in there that was going to get it to a certain amount, but the basic wage seemed to be what was the problem for Mason Mount. And he was looking at a situation like with Reece James. Now, I know Reece James, for me, in terms of ability, is on a different level to Mason Mount. But Mason's looking at it and say, look, I'm more available than this guy. There's certain things that I've done for this club in terms of the Champions League run, whatever. I assisted, I played well. Do you know what I mean? So many things that come into the account. Why can I not have a similar base wage to this player? Why can I not be rewarded for the trophies I've helped, you know, contribute to this club? So he's looking at it that way. He feels a little bit lowballed. And naturally, it's you as a human right. It's not even just as a football player. If you feel you're worth something, it's your given right to negotiate your worth. You see what I mean? Whether it's if the place that you love and you prefer to stay is not valuing you properly, then I cannot blame you for looking elsewhere. If Liverpool see that value in the player, they'll invest. And the reason why I believe that you guys are favourites to sign this guy is because I really think Mason Mount will fit your system down to an absolute T. I think it will work for you so perfectly. And
for the Liverpool mans and women's and children's and some animals, tell us where you see him fitting his best role and in our team, because a lot of people are asking that. Can he play wide right? Can he play wide left? Grizz, where's he going to play? I think he's got the ability and the work rate, in my humble opinion, to eventually play as an attacking 8.
And I was just about to say that 100%. If you've got balance in a midfield 3, I think Mason Mount fries for you lot, because it goes back to what Mo was saying very early in the stream. What Mace does have, and the instincts that you do not lose, are things like movement and attacking in between the lines and bringing other players into the game. And the way you lot, you know, Jurgen Klopp is renowned for transitioning so quickly and so effectively. Mason Mount's going to be key to that in your team. And I think once he understands the system, you're really going to start to see the top quality side of Mace shine. The problem he's had at Chelsea, right? And this is what I also say as well, because I've heavily criticized Mason in the past, but I put the ultimate blame once again on the club. Because you've brought through this player who was an attacking 8, like you said, / number 10 throughout his youth career. You loaned him to Vitesse, that's where he plays. Comes into the Frank Lampard team, he plays that role. He does it well for the first 2 seasons. Now things start to change. You're playing him as a left inside forward, a right inside forward. You're asking him to do so many different roles at the most key developmental stage of his career. And we're expecting some kind of consistency about him, world class about him, to become that player. No, Chelsea have failed this guy in not addressing the correct position so he can focus on developing on what he's good at, instead of being that winger, instead of coming into that midfield and trying to be that defensive presence, or try to do 3 different jobs at once. Because if we're being honest, I've seen Mason Mount do the 8 role, the 10 role, the false 9 role, all in a single game. and he's never. And it's that you know, jack of all trades, master of none. If you keep doing that for too long, how do you expect him to develop?
He's not exactly
position?
that. He's not being coached into
Can
one
I ask
role.
you something? Go ahead. I wanted to ask about his defensive abilities. I watch a lot of Mason Mount, and I know that he lacks any defensive attributes.
Yeah, but Mo, he's an attacker.
Wait. Can I let me say something here. Mo, in terms of like the positioning and the and interceptions and stuff, I can agree with you to an extent. But what Mace does so well, and I think it's at the elite level, is leading the press. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, to some it might be like, well, every team presses. Watch Mason Mount initiate a press with Chelsea Football Club and how effective it is.
That is one of the biggest stats that we look at. We've been so good at analytics. Our front three. Have you ever seen a front three press like Mane, Bobby, and Salah?
No.
Teams couldn't come out. No, and then Gini and Henderson behind that. Are you mad?
So here is why I'm asking the question, Grizz, because
Mason Mount. Is he
going to be an 8 or he's going to be a wide forward?
Right.
If he's an 8, you'll need to cover Trent and Robertson. You need to cover the fullbacks.
But this is why it's going to be so vital, Mo. And on the Liverpool specific shows, I've been talking about our recruitment will be key to seeing how we're going to play next season, because we need a bastard in there. Sorry for my language. Jude Bellingham, Mason Mount. We've been linked with Lindstrom. Frankfurt, exact same profile as Mason Mount, but we need
Kamada as well, right?
Kamada today we've been linked with, but today obviously McAllister. None of them are that B word that I shouldn't have said. None of them are that mean. You know, Fabinho,
Henderson 2 years ago. Henderson 2-3 years ago.
No, Fabinho. Casemiro,
you need a defensive midfielder. You need
Rodri, Paulina, all of these guys. You know, so that third midfielder, I, like Goonie, think Mason Mount would fit like a glove. But just to put you on the spot, give us your gut instinct. What do you think happens with Mason Mount, Goonie? You're mute.
Yeah, right here. Honestly, with Mace, I still think it's 70% chance he walks. I think 70%. He does. I think he does.
And that's only gut instinct before people say,
it's not. I don't
gut instinct
amount or anything, but it's just based on the information that's readily available for everyone out there. Do you know what I mean?
And if he goes, where do you think he ends up?
Yeah, I think he goes Liverpool easy. 100%. 100%.
I agree with you. I'll go one step further. I, in my humble opinion, believe we have a deal agreed with Mason Mount and his reps. I believe that from what I know. But let's see if this Lampard situation changes the scenario.
Lampard going to give him that little Chelsea passion talk.
And the reason why I said Lampard, Goonie, I know I'm working you. Last segment on Chelsea. Lampard. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. I mean, Chelsea, terrific. Lampard is back. Talk to me, bro. Make this make sense.
Bro, listen. Look, what I'll say is this is because I haven't even had the chance to process this, fam. It's one of those ones where, like, if we're talking interim for real, okay, cool. If we're going to be 11th, big up my guy Lewis, yeah? If we're going to be 11th and rubbish, might as well just do it under Super Frank. If we've got nothing left to play for, might as well do it under Super Frank. My thing is we have a Champions League quarterfinal that we need to play. And the last time Frank Lampard came up against a team of quality in the Champions League, i.e. Bayern Munich, he got absolutely spanked, out-tacticked, everything, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a mismatch. But if this is what we're doing from now until the end of the season, bro, I'm disappointed. First of all, I really don't rate Frank Lampard's abilities as a manager like that. I'm not trying to be harsh on the guy. I think his abilities suit him elsewhere in terms of I think he should be going into more of a technical director and recruitment role, because this guy, what I will give him at Chelsea is he had a vision his first time round. There were several players that he caught onto early that he wanted to bring to the club. He didn't bring them. One case in point was Declan Rice. Do you know what I mean? He wanted him when he could have been available for between 30 million and 40 million pound. The board didn't want to pay that and bring him into the club. There's certain others as well. I can go on. The list goes on and on and on. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of that, cool. But for management's sake,
not really.
I'm very underwhelmed, very disappointed. I can't even lie to you. Love him as a legend. Come for the club. But in terms of managerial, I can't understand it, bro. I really can't, because a lot of our fans have a short-term memory. They forget this is the same manager that had us 3-0 down against West Brom, who got relegated that season by half-time. Yes, I know we came to draw 3-3 in that game, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Several shocking results, shocking football. The amount of goals that we conceded under this guy, we were hemorrhaging goals, bro. Hemorrhaging goals. Now,
but you scored a lot of goals, Goldie. That's one of your problems now. Thomas Tuchel came to the club and tightened the defense because you were scoring tons of goals left and right, but you were conceding a lot of goals. Your problem over the past 2-3 months is not conceding goals, it's scoring goals. Lampard might fix that, and you already have the defenders in course and working. It might be how the board are thinking. What do you think about that?
But my problem is when I look at the strikers available now, I'm not talking who's coming in the summer and who's out on loan. When I look at the attackers who's available now, it's going back to the point. I've seen strikers have situations where they've got no excuse but to be scoring these goals. Maybe they're going to let him down. And that's not necessarily his fault. But from what I've seen from previous managers, from Thomas Tuchel to Graham Potter, I'm not going to expect to see too much of a change in terms of clinicalness in front of goals with these particular individuals. What he did have differently last time, and in hindsight, a lot of Chelsea fans might think, right, it was working for him. He had Tammy Abraham, who was actually scoring goals, who actually got in positions and it wasn't consistent at it, but believe it or not, he is the last highest goal scoring striker we've had with 15 goals in the season. That's the last highest striker that we've had since Diego Costa's left. Since then, we haven't had anybody. And Mo, be honest with me, how many one-on-ones do you see? And you're thinking with your eyes closed, Chelsea are going to go 1-0 up. They should be going 2-0 up here. Goes over the bar, goes wide, goalkeeper makes a save. You see what I'm saying? You can't put that on the manager. It's the profile of player that we're putting in front of goal, and I don't think it's going to change much.
Was going to say, this comment made me laugh. Chelsea sacked Lampard, right, Michael? Chelsea sacked Lampard to bring Tuchel, sacked Tuchel to bring Potter, and sacked Potter to bring back Lampard. Wow.
Joke, bro.
Top Boy, yo, I'm telling you, Top Boy, this guy is the greatest thing ever. I love this guy. I love this guy. This guy's Hollywood. I'm telling you, he has scripts in his mind. He's thinking of a Lampard Tuchel UCL semifinal. I promise you, that's what he's envisioning right now. He's like, he's probably thinking Lampard club legend. Fans aren't really happy right now. He might.
That's what he's doing.
That's what he's thinking. I don't think it'll last longer than an interim. I'd be shocked unless like Lampard wins.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say, guys. That's what I was gonna say. What if because Di Matteo done it?
Guess when UCL.
What if he does a little something?
He's not doing it.
No, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't think they're gonna. It doesn't matter.
You can
even if you UCL, it's gonna be leaving.
Mo, trust me.
Trust
me. You can trust me. And I get what Goonie's saying, it ain't happening. But you never know. It's wild season, people. I've been saying #wild season from game week 3. I could sense this is wild this season. If Lampard wins the Champions League, you cannot kick out Lampard from Chelsea Football Club. He semi-owns that. I know Todd Bowley is the owner, but if Lampard brother, he's Lord of the Manor, Frank Lampard. He's proper Chelsea, terrific.
He's got the keys to West London. I'm
telling you, you can't kick him out, Mo. It's almost mafia business once that happens. If that happens, it's mafia. Goonie knows what I'm saying, bro. I'm telling them West London, man. You ain't kicking Lampard out for shit, bro. You can come in and skip Lulu, Cowboy, Todd Bowley. No, Lampard, But why give yourself that complication and confusion. Why? Just let the man, what's his name? Who's your man in charge?
Bruno.
The caretaker guy.
Bruno Frank. Yeah, call him Frank, man. Just call him Frank.
I don't think he
Frank's
wanted to. I don't think he wanted to like be interim anymore. He probably said, "Nah, I ain't feeling it." And that's
So
probably
to avoid that, I think they're gonna announce the manager before the end of the season.
Yeah,
no matter what
if they do that, yeah,
to avoid that. And I think that within the next month or so, they will announce a manager before the end of the season to avoid all of this shambolic situation that we're talking about.
Very true.
Even if they make Europe, because maybe Frank Lampard will make them make Europa League something, as you say. Maybe not win the Champions League, but maybe he will start winning games. They're gonna announce the manager soon. They're not idiots. This is billionaires. These are billionaires, people.
I don't know about that, bro. They're not idiots. I don't know about that. Michael tell you some of these American.
So Todd Bowley and you can't. Nothing is certain with Todd Bowley. This guy will change anything. Anything will change.
He's wild.
And I don't. And this is what I don't understand about Todd Bowley and Badadig Bali. These two, I've got a massive bone to pick with these. If you're constantly getting involved in footballing decisions, why do you have a team of recruiters? Why are you even consulting them for advice? Why are you paying them as much as you're paying them every single week if you're going to override decisions? Why? It doesn't make no sense.
Do you know what it is?
That's how it works here. That's how it works here, Grizz. In America, in the sports here, in football and in baseball. That's how it works. The owners get involved.
The owners get involved. It's the ego. It's the ego, my guys. Lampard, Zach sent in a super chat. Appreciate the support. He says Lampard's style of play is not good. I can't be going back to crossing inshallah football. Mate. Well, I don't know who you're gonna cross to, bro. I don't know. Diallo, I see you, man. Mr. Grizz is delaying the inevitable pain. Sunday soon come, my bro. Diallo, relax in it. Wait for the morning show on Saturday. Relax, man. Because we could be putting a dent in your series. I know you guys are hyped. Man United came with hype. Man City came with hype. All of these teams that came to Anfield said, we're going to turn them over. Yeah, away. And if you're bottom of the table and away from home, we're nasty. But
guys, let me tell you something about American sports that people in the chat, you guys don't know. Number one, there's 500 you here, and we're not even on a 300 likes. It looks like this. It's underneath your live chat. Come on.
It looks like that. It looks like that. Come on.
It looks like this. It's underneath your live chat. I need the counter up. If you win the World Series here, or you win a basketball, the NBA, the owner is the one who receives the trophy. Do you guys know that?
Oh,
yeah.
In baseball, football, and basketball, the owner is the one. The owner receives the trophy, not the coach.
Who's gonna tell Todd ain't running here?
Yeah, this guy's gonna pull up and he thinks he can lift the UCL. I told you.
Wait, he's gonna do a full kit wanker like John Terry. Wait, I'm telling you, this brother, I wouldn't put it past him. He comes out with shin pads and shit and the Chelsea top and everything. Bruv, Goonie, your club is a joke.
Bro.
I'm so grateful for your club right now because we would be the ultimate finished, washed, dead club. But you guys are keeping us a little bit in the picture. But listen, guys, Chelsea chat is way too much. But we had to discuss it. We spent the whole show. We've only got a couple of minutes to chat about Newcastle flying. For me, Newcastle finishing third. Michael, I think they're finishing above your club. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think they are. Eddie Howe figured.
Given up.
I don't think we get third. Bro, their goal difference. First of all, they're like 20 more higher goal difference than us. So it's gonna come down to a tiebreaker. We can't win that. And I think, bro, they got so many goals in them. Eddie Howe figured out that Isaac is his best striker, and ever since then, he has not looked back. They look good. What's his name? St. Maximin looks good.
Wilson came in back and smashed a couple today.
Because now he's motivated to get his starting spot back, so he's gonna be better. Now they also have only one game a week. But they do have some tough games left. They still gotta play Arsenal. They still gotta play Chelsea, even though they're not like Chelsea's not the toughest place. They still gotta go to the bridge. You never know. Frank Lampard got something cooking for them. You never know. Who else they have?
You got them on the weekend. Is it Chelsea Newcastle? No.
That's later in the season. I think it's the last game of the season actually. So,
I think it's second from last.
Yeah, they got Brentford away. They still got Villa away. Aston Villa might get Europe. By the way, they might actually get Europe. Unai Emery, serious manager. Serious manager. So they still got a lot of tough games left. But I think they had the blip. But even when they had the blip, they were still creating so many chances. The ball just wasn't going in the back of the net. Now the ball's going back in the net, and they're still not conceding goals. While us, on the other hand, we're inconsistent, and we still got two more competitions to prioritize as well. So I think for them, it's going to be a smooth sailing for third, to be honest.
Are Newcastle doing it, Mo?
100%.
Oh,
100%.
100%.
Champions League next year with the Saudi money. I'm happy for the Saudi brothers. And they're going to be in the Champions League next year. And they
That's
will
a
be a
serious
force
achievement,
sooner.
you know. That's a serious achievement in the first season of ownership under a manager that hasn't managed at the highest level. People speaking about Potter and Chelsea. Tell me the difference between Potter and Chelsea and Howe and Newcastle.
I said that. I mentioned
You see the
that and I
comparisons
said
there.
no
But
difference.
one was run sensibly. They said, "Who do you want, Eddie? Not who do we want?" Whilst the other brother went and opened a brochure and ordered everything, all the expensive meals.
Facts.
Many who said, yeah, okay. What's this called? Even like me, you know, when I go to a posh restaurant, I don't know what the fuck this means, but I'm ordering it. Yeah, hors d'oeuvre de meat. Yeah, I love that. That was Todd Bowley looking at players. Bro, he went in there and he said, "Yo, who's this? Yeah, well, okay, I'll have him. Yeah, let me order that shit." Bro, Newcastle done it proper. They done it proper, and look at the difference. Because Eddie Howe was similar, done decent jobs at lower level clubs. Yeah. But the owners were smart. But Newcastle, big up Newcastle every time, man. I think they're one fan base that deserves it, man. They've gone through hell and back. Chelsea fans deserve this mud. Like, let it linger a little bit more. Of course, you mans are going to say Liverpool deserve it as well. So no problem. We'll slither around in the mud. We'll be back next season. We're going to clean up, shower up, and we're going to be back. Chelsea going to be back, I reckon, to a certain level. Man United will be as well. But I'm going to end it with the Arsenal chat. People, are Arsenal going to do it? Are Arsenal really going to win the league? Goonie, you're saying no, okay? You seriously don't think 8-point lead, 10 games to go?
Hold on. I'm going to give a caveat. A lot of my no is coming from just pure hateration, fam.
Fair enough.
Up and down. 50% of it is hateration because I cannot stand Arsenal. I went to school in North London while Arsenal were just smashing it with your Henrys and Pires and all that. Yeah, we weren't very good. So understand the trauma I have from that alone. Yeah. My good friend Troops, as you know, is Troops. You lot can understand Troops being Troops and me being a Chelsea fan. It's log. But honestly, it's looking
from a footballing point of view, take away your hateration.
It's looking likely, bruv. I'm looking at certain games here.
It's our game is the one though, isn't it? If
Liverpool
they win,
will decide the league. Liverpool will decide the league.
If they win, it's a wrap, no?
I think so.
If they win. If they draw,
let's look at who they've got left. So Arsenal have got Liverpool away, West Ham away, Southampton at home, Man City away. They've got us at home. They've got Newcastle away. They've got Brighton at home. So there's several games that stick out here. And we also got to remember, we're saying this in the hope that their key players do not get injured between now and the end of the season. They've already got Saliba out for the rest of the season. That's one. And for me, he's been their best centre-back, 100%. Not saying Gabriel shit. He's also been very good for them. But Saliba, for me. Thomas Partey, as we know, in such a crucial position in the Premier League, and he's been absolutely smashing it for Arsenal. He's got to stay fit between now and the end of the season, in my honest opinion. But yeah, looking at this, I can see a few potential banana skins. If they beat you guys, I still don't think it's over because they've got to go to Man City and get the result.
I don't think so though. This is what I'm saying. If they beat Liverpool, the confidence and the momentum is too much.
But wait,
the pressure is on Man City, Goonie. Imagine that. Imagine if they win against Liverpool and they go to the Man City game with 5 points.
Every Man City fan is banking on the Liverpool game to be a hurdle. I get the Newcastle away one. Yes, you're right, Goonie. That's messy.
You can never write off. I'm not saying that. Listen, if as of now, from what we're seeing, if we go to Arsenal, we're getting spanked. But that's the 29th of April, 24 days time. Yeah,
and that game is 3 days after the City game. That's a very quick turnaround.
This is what I'm saying. So look, and then after that game, they've got Newcastle away. So
Brighton, they got Brighton as well, and that ain't easy.
A bit of a deadly run. This is the point between the 26th of April and the 13th of May. I believe if they win 3 of those games, lose or draw 1, That's it. I think that period is very critical for them.
I think
But
the only
there are
one.
no signs, Goni. There are no signs of slowing down. As much as we want to say something about Arsenal, and we see the signs that Man City can win every game, we see the signs
Man
that
City
Arsenal
are
can
gonna.
win.
Man City are only gonna drop points in one game for me.
But the signs are there for Arsenal to win most of the
So the
games as well,
pressure will
other
be
than the
on
Man
Arsenal.
City.
I still think it's 50-50. I literally think it's going to be after the Liverpool game. I'll be able to give a affirmative answer.
Lads,
I think if they avoid defeat, they're in such a strong position.
But look who Man City have got left as well.
No, don't mention them. They're all dead teams. I know, dead teams. The
I
only
think
hard one they got is
Arsenal.
Brighton.
Arsenal at home. Although
Arsenal.
They do well against Arsenal at home, but this season you never know. With Arsenal got something to fight for, you never know.
There's another thing. We're talking about the Premier League, the relegation. Pretty much 90% of this league is fighting for something right now. So we all know how typically late in the season you play these mid-table clubs that aren't fighting for anything. You can usually roll them around. There's 8 teams fighting for relegation. There's about another 5-6 teams that are fighting for a European spot. So like Arsenal still got to go to Forest away. That ain't an easy game. On paper, it sounds easy, but a team fighting for their life, that ain't easy.
But the thing is, what gives it a bit of tantalizing, unknown territory is Man City haven't been putting away teams like they have in the past.
Yeah,
Man City have buckled up against a few teams. Man City got to play Brighton away, Fulham away, Brentford away, Everton away.
Yeah, City can lose to Son Dyche's Everton away. That could easily happen. Like they could drop points over there. They drop points to Frank Lampard's team at home.
It can.
You never know. That's what I'm saying. It's so tricky.
There are
but
no
I think
signs of this.
You know what? It's been a while since I've been able to just look at it as a neutral and just enjoy the title race, because normally I'm shitting bricks every weekend looking at Man City, looking at Liverpool. It's going to be wild, man. I think it's going to be wild. Guys, we got to wrap up, man, because I have to get a couple of hours sleep and then wake up from my fast again. There's one question that channel member, because we always try to get the channel member questions through. Kevin says, just curious, but Grizz, who would you prefer to win? And Grizz, I know you change every week. Who do you prefer right now? Yeah, I'm with Man City, man. I've changed. I want Man City to win, man. Yeah, I can't handle the Arsenal people then. Yeah, me, like my hatred is towards Chelsea, because like Goonie, I went to uni when Chelsea were brought by Roman Abramovich, and we had all these new born again Chelsea fans. So yeah, I can't stand Chelsea. But Griggs, what are you saying?
I want Arsenal to win. I don't like City. I don't want to do the three-peat. That's going to match my records. And Man City are already nearing my records, so I can't have them get anywhere near that. So, and I think Arsenal pretty much have been the best team in the league this year, so I'm not going to say that they don't deserve to win. They deserve to win it. They've been the most entertaining team to watch in the league. Every single week they put on a show, so they deserve it.
Listen, guys, that's what we're going to wrap it up. My God, I really enjoyed this show, you know. I'm not going to lie. It's flown. I haven't even looked at the time. 1 hour, 25 minutes. Are you mad? That's proper flown by, man. This is one of those shows that if you ever got a long journey, long flight, watch it back, because it'll make your time fly. You won't feel the journey. I'm telling you, man. Don't forget, we also download this as a podcast straight away, so you can catch it on Spotify, Apple, all of them audio podcasts. I want to thank Michael. We're going to be back with Eurostars. What day is it? I don't even know what day. But tomorrow. Yeah. Mo, we got a lot of things to talk about, man. In the Eurostars. Make sure you guys tune in. I don't even know what time. Bad organization.
Ramadan. You said 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Yeah. 8 p.m. Maybe about 10 minutes after 8 p.m. Like, I'm still going to be eating. You know what I mean? Goonie, much respect. Hope you heal up very quickly. You know what I mean? For a person in agony, Chelsea don't help matters, do they?
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. But people, yeah, man, I appreciate you lot 100%, man.
No, wicked, man. It's been fantastic. Guys, this has been Premier League Khanage. Yeah, there's a whole heap of Khanage to come this weekend as well, I reckon. Over and out. Take care.